folks, welcome to another Fixrovia Q&A. The question we were asked this time was, how can I increase my marketing impact and return on investment? The first thing that we would say here is that the goal of marketing is not necessarily just to sell straight off the bat. The philosophy that we would encourage you to have a look at is relationship first and then sell when you can. Now, why are we saying that? Let's have a quick look at the way that our target market is divided up. Now, the figures will vary depending on the industry, but by and large, you have 3% of people that you talk to are ready to buy now. You've got 7% of people who are thinking about buying now. You have about 30% of people who are not thinking about buying now, but may well do so in the future. You have another 30% of people who could be customers, but haven't yet made the link between your product and service and their problem. And you have, say, another 30% of people who are just not interested. Either they've got one, they've tried it, it's just not for them. Now, with traditional marketing, what you tend to do is you tend to put the offer in front of people, but that means that you're only really going to get those guys. Okay? What we advise you to do is to basically create like a relationship approach, whereby you move from being just another product and service vendor to be your customer's ally and mentor. And so what happens is that you're never going to get those guys because those guys just simply ain't interested. Traditional marketing will let you access those guys, and it may, if you're lucky and you spend enough money to continue your marketing campaign, it may give you access to those guys as well. What we want to do is we want to capture this 70%. So what we do is, first of all, we start talking to people based on their problem, not the product. A lot of marketing is based on what we call business card marketing, where all you're basically doing is you're spending a lot of money to put your business card in front of people. This is the products and service we have, yada, 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 yada. What we're doing is we're saying, right, rather than that, go to them and start talking to them, so come out from behind your stall, because most people, it's like walking through a market, you get people shouting about cauliflowers and all the rest of it and say, come to my stall, yada, yada, yada. What we're doing is saying, come out from behind your stall, because they can't hear the clutter anymore. People are exposed to about 20,000 marketing messages on a regular basis. They're ceasing to hear them. Marketing return on investment is dropping dramatically. Okay, you're spending twice as much to access markets, and you're getting maybe a third of the return. So what we need to do is talk to them in such a way that their brain will hear it. Okay, they're thinking about their problem. They're not thinking about your product and service. So what you do is you then start to open up a conversation with them about the products and about the problem that they have, which means that you then basically get to have an ongoing conversation with all of these people, because these guys are like ready to buy. These guys are thinking about buying, these guys are not thinking, these guys don't even know, but all of them are united by the fact that they have that problem, and they're certainly thinking about the problem. Okay? The problem or the want or the need, whatever it is that is going to cause them to buy what it is that you're buying. So, to go from there, where you're just literally shouting out, we've got something as well, and you're getting lost in the clutter, to go into something whereby you're talking to them about their particular problem, and you've then got the capacity to hit. So with these guys, you're then educating them, this is your problem, these are the problems, the situations that you've got, where, this is the pain that you may be experiencing, these are the opportunities that you've got. By the way, did you know that if you employed, insert your product or service here, that would actually give you, a really good solution to do it. With these guys who aren't thinking about it, they might be thinking about it, but they're not able to buy yet. They're waiting for, their budget to come through in 3 months' time. Okay? So you've got these guys, could be your customers, these guys don't know about it, but all of these guys you can hit if you hit them in the right way. And like I say, that's about going to them, start to talk about the problem and creating a relationship. Okay? So we're selling this solution using bigger pictures. We also need to be very, very clear when we're talking about this, about our difference. Okay? We should, when we're talking about marketing, we should know exactly why we are better than the competition. So when we're creating this pitch to them, which talks to them about their problem, what we do is we seed it with all of the reasons why they need to be buying from us. We're educating them, and while we're educating them, we want to reset their buying criteria so that by the time they come out of this marketing chain, if you like, this marketing effort, they should be very much aware of the problems that they've got, why we are the logical answer, why they shouldn't be buying from anybody else, and they should understand all of that inherently in their brain, so that we're not convincing them, we're just giving them information to make the decision on their own. There's a couple of guides that I think are going to be very, very relevant for you at this particular point. We've got a bigger picture marketing guide, which basically talks about how you look at your customer, how you then basically work out what their problems and their opportunities are, and how you then create information and education around that. It doesn't take a lot of cost, it doesn't take a lot of money to do. What it does do is it dramatically increases the amount that people are willing to listen to you, because they're not just looking at a version of your business card, you're giving them information which is critical to their success. Okay, we've got a guide on creating strap lines and elevator pitches, basically about positioning statements. The power of this is the sort of thing that took Domino's from a single outlet to a multi-million pound international empire. Is because when they said, okay, your pizza in 30 minutes, hot and fresh, or it's free, that completely changed the game. Okay, they then used that positioning statement, that marketing, to drive everyone towards them, and they went from leaps and bounds from it. So a lot of this is also about saying, right, how do we neatly convey the difference to these people that we want them to know. We've also got persuasion and sales templates, which is basically, so again, in terms of your emails, your flyers, your landing pages, your brochures, even your face-to-face conversations, there is a way of, again, starting off with their overall problem, resonating with it, letting them know that you know exactly what this problem it is that they're facing, giving them a picture of what they could have, letting them know why you're different and why basically they should be looking at you, and then giving them a call to action. So that's the persuasion and sales copy template, which again you'll find in the guides. And the last one about it, which is again something that we then use as a chassis or a vehicle to start to have an ongoing conversation with, is using things like autoresponders. It's like almost like newsletters, information marketing. So even basically when we're talking to people, we say, okay, the 3% are ready to buy now. Well, let's not get in their way. Let's let them buy. But for all these other guys, we need to basically make sure that we capture their details and start an informative and educational conversation with them. That means that when they actually move into this situation whereby I know who you are, I understand what this product is, I know why I want it, and I want to buy, that we are at the top of their mind because we've been taking the time to talk to them about that. None of this is massively expensive, none of it is massively complicated, and almost all of it is stuff that you can literally spend a few hours setting up, and it will then run, but it will yield you huge benefits in the long term. So the guides which I've referred to are at the bottom of this list. I hope that's helped you. Again, if you've got any questions, give us a shout at support@fixrovia.com. Best of luck.